on, y'all? Welcome back off the bench. It is Tuesday here on OTB, which means that we talk to the man, Coach O. That's right. Coach O, what's going on, man? Thank you so much for joining us again.
Well, good morning to you, Bob. Hey, I had a good talk with your dad yesterday. It was good to hear from him. Great to be on your show today.
Yeah, actually, it made some news yesterday as well. And I guess we'll just start there, get out of the way early here, because I don't know what you can or can't comment on right now. But there's some reports that Ryan Nielsen's maybe in line to be that LSU defensive coordinator. What's the latest on that situation?
You know, we're still working on it. He's a primary candidate. Obviously, love Ryan. Ryan's a bright, young, energetic coach. Comes to us highly recommended. But there's still some things to work out to see if he can come to LSU, and those things are not final yet.
Coach, I'll never forget one of the toughest camps I've ever gone to back at Ole Miss in 2006. Coach Nielsen was there, right? I mean, I remember, I think I was like 16 years old, and he was teaching me pass rush technique. So this is a potential reuniting here.
Yeah, obviously, I coached Ryan in college at USC. Outstanding player and outstanding young man. He decided to coach, and then he started volunteer coaching with us at USC with me and Coach Carroll. Then went to Idaho, and then came to us and became my full-time defensive line coach, and then took off. At North Carolina State, he had 4 guys that he recruited that were drafted. I think a couple of them were first-round picks,
yep.
And has done a tremendous job with the Saints. He comes with us with raised reviews, but again, the deal is not done yet.
Yeah, and we'll see where it goes. Okay, Coach, before we get back into the kind of football weeds and the news of the day, I got to ask you about this because, 2020 was terrible in a lot of ways. I just mean, in terms of the pandemic and the change and just everybody had to navigate it. But one of the interesting things is that FCS football now is taking place in the spring, which for most is what it is. But for you, that means that you now get to watch your son's senior football season in person, live. You don't have games and stuff of your own. What has that experience been like so far?
Phenomenal. What a gift. On Fridays, I get to watch them practice on Friday afternoon. I get to watch them scrimmage on Saturdays. I'll spend some time with them. Go eat a po' boy at Daryl's after, just be a dad. Kind of cool. And then I'll be there next weekend. And then I'll get to see every game, which is something I haven't been able to do throughout his career. I maybe seen 1 or 2 games a year, but this year I'm going to see all his games. And then he'll get next season again. And our second game is against McNeese State, so I get to play against my boy.
Oh, okay, I see. So really you're just doing scouting here. You're just getting ready for the game. Okay. The deep levels never stop in the coaching game. Speaking of some coaching moves, by the way, Daryl's po' boy sounds incredible. Is that how you got there and then back? We'll get there. But a couple of guys added to the staff as well. George Munoz back as an analyst role. What can you say about Munoz rejoining the squad?
George was just like a full-time coach. He just didn't coach on the field. I mean, the job that he did with us, obviously he came to us from ULL, was a coordinator. Him and James Gregg did the protections on Tuesday and Wednesday. He was very instrumental in the winning edge, just game-winning thoughts that we do every Thursday. And worked with me with game management, just an excellent force, and knows the quarterback play, knows the Saints offense, knows Joe Brady's offense. So along with Jake and DJ, we got 3 guys that were here for our championship run that knows that offense.
Yeah, George famously at that Heisman ceremony. And then speaking of sons, Parker Orgeron joining the staff as well. How about that?
Yeah, it's just wonderful to have, as you know, have your son with you and been working. He's starting from scratch, so he's going to start from the bottom, work his way up. But he's eager, he's enthusiastic. Just to see him working every day is just a pleasure to watch him grow.
Talking to LSU head football coach, Coach O, here on Off the Bench. Coach, how about this? So there's a lot of – we're going to talk about some old faces. We're going to talk about some new faces. First, I know some of the early enrollees. I believe it's 9 guys now on campus. How's that initial process going?
Good group. And, I listen to the academics, listen to the weight room, I listen to the training room on how they act. That's what's most important to me. And they seem like they're all great character young men, so that's important. It seems like they're gelling well. It's a great mix, some great great players. Look forward to seeing them in football school today. Deion Smith will not be involved in football school. He still has a little ankle injury. Garrett Nussmeister has did some work on his left hand, so he's going to be limited. But I'm excited to see the guys, not just a walkthrough, but I'm excited to see the guys in uniform in a team meeting.
So help me out here, Coach. From a coach's perspective, if I'm an early enrollee, it's an intimidating situation, right? You're 18 years old. 1 week you're in high school. The next week you're at LSU, and there's guys who have done it on the biggest stage all around you. Guys who look like men, look like adults. So if I'm an early enrollee, what do I need to do to flash for the coaches? Like, what are y'all looking for out of these young cats?
Show up early, be quiet, work hard.
So you mentioned that football school starts today. Is this different because of the pandemic and the timing of it all? Like, what is allowed? What is the plan for football school?
More or less it's the meeting. We'll have a half-hour meeting, then we'll go on the field and walk them through some individual instruction. We can't go against each other, nothing like that. Put in plays. Today we won't put in any defense. Got defensive coordinator is not here yet. Just basic fundamental stuff.
And then, so I mentioned some new faces showing up at football school today. There's also going to be a lot of familiar faces. The defensive line had already committed to come back, and it seemed like one by one the dominoes fell. And now, with the announcement that Dare Rosenthal will be returning, you got your left tackle back. But, you got the entire line on both sides of the ball back for next football season. How are you feeling?
Feel great. And, I told them about 3/4 of the way to see us. So recruiting is coming to an end, but the most important recruits that we have are the men in this room. And we have a chance to have an excellent foundation for a great team next year if most of you guys decide to come back. And to get both offensive and defensive line, you got to praise the coaches. You got to praise Derek Panansky, the guys around the office. Spent hours recruiting them. And again, I told you about it. Those po' boy sandwiches work for the offensive line.
Okay, so there's nothing better than a fried shrimp po' boy. What is your po' boy of choice?
I like roast beef po' boy with extra gravy.
Oh, man, that's sloppy. You got to bring some napkins to that thing. Okay. Last one here. I got to ask you about this because we promised the audience that we would. Warren Sapp was on a podcast recently. Obviously, you coached Sapp back in the day. And he said that everything that The Rock says, or a few things, right, like shove it sideways and candy ass, he said that actually comes from you back in the Miami football days. Can you confirm this?
Well, I can confirm some of it, but I won't claim all of it, I promise you. But, we had a good time, man. I love those guys. That was, I was different then. I was a young coach and full of vinegar and ready to go every day, obviously. But, they haven't that show, The Young Rock, and there'll be a Coach O character on there, so it'll be pretty cool.
Oh, no way. Oh, my God. Yeah. I love it, dude. Yeah. That's really cool. Okay, breaking news here on Off the Bench. Coach, thank you so much for joining us each and every Tuesday. Congrats on getting to watch the sun, and just congrats on getting the lines back. I know LSU fans are really excited.
Thanks, Bob. Go Tigers.
Yes, sir. Have a good one. That's Coach O. Coach Orgeron LSU head football coach. As we said, man, a string of successes for the LSU football program and staff. Here's to hoping that the Ryan Nielsen situation can add to those successes. So wait, so help me out. So there's a Young Rock television show, I guess?
Yeah, I just saw a preview for that while watching the Bills game.
Is The Rock going to play Young Rock?
No. It's not. He's not playing the Rock's not in it, so to speak. But it's apparently it kind of looked like a sitcom almost that's going to like chronicle The Rock's life.
Who do you cast as Coach O?
I saw the preview for this and I was just like, what?
That's fascinating on so many levels. I wonder who you cast. Okay, let's hear from the chat. Who do you think? Who should be cast as Coach O in the Young Rock? Who can pull off that Cajun, gravelly, as he said there, full of you-know-what and vinegar? Who can get that message across? We'll see. And we'll close that hour number 1 next here on Off the Bench.